Ladies and gentlemen, please rise if you are able and uncover for the playing of the national anthem, and then remain standing for the Highland High School alma mater.
I'm going to quick shout out to the boosters are selling.
North Gateway Tire Field, Granger Township, Ohio, United States of America. 47 degrees, playoff time.
Yes.
Coach Jay Grissom.
Coach Brandon Lipchek.
If it gets better than this, I don't want to know about it.
How could it, right?
Can't. We've been waiting for this, Jay.
Yes.
Waiting for playoff time, brother.
No, and I think, coming off of an unbelievable regular season for these Highland Hornets, leading into the playoffs, goal one accomplished. Now we the second season moving on to goal two. So, like you say, I mean, what's better than OHSA playoff time in football?
And it needs to be 47 degrees.
That's right.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
And it's like we were talking about Coach Gibbons' second undefeated season, and it's easy to talk about the big picture, but let's go back to last week if we could, because I don't want to gloss over what a game that was, what a statement game that was for this program.
No, and I think 34-0 win over a previously unbeaten team. I heard it said many times that they had played in all running clock games leading into the game last week, they being Aurora, and the Hornets were able to keep their streak alive. It was just going the other direction with a 34-0 win at their place. 2 9-0 teams, a perfect night for football, and what an unbelievable performance. I mean, just the offensive and defensive numbers are just incredible.
It wasn't close. I
No.
mean, it was 400-plus yards of offense for us, right, and less than 200 for Aurora. Big games by, as usual, Melzer, Borla, the defense, Phillips, a couple picks.
Right. I mean, and it's one of those, big players make big plays in big games, right? I mean, Dylan Borla, he only threw the ball 3 times. He was 3 for 3, 97 yards, another touchdown pass. So that gave him, I believe, 21 on the season to go with just the 1 interception that I believe happened in the first half of game 1, by the way, all the way back in September over at Hudson. So, Dylan doing his thing. Casey Melzer carries the ball 24 times for 216 yards, just 9 yards per carry. No big deal. And, 2 more touchdowns for him. And then Evan Faust, 2 catches, 75 yards and a touchdown. So it's the playmakers making plays. Then we can talk a little bit about the defense. I mean, Aurora had 2 rushing yards at halftime. 2 rushing yards at halftime.
They just could not move that ball on the ground. Our defense, our D-line would not let it happen. Our linebackers.
No, and again, like we've talked about it all year, and I think we've got to keep talking about, but up front, what this team has done. And it shows in rushing numbers. Yeah, they threw for 185 yards last week, but their bread and butter is on the ground, and the Hornets just shut that game down. From the word go. So, just an awesome performance to complete a 10-0 season.
When you talk about Noonan and Zywick and McKean and Bendow and Messina and Coyne and what these guys are doing up front, that game. People were thinking that was going to be a close game, and right from the opening kick, our team was ready. Coach Gibbons had those boys ready to roll, and those seniors stepped up, and the underclassmen stepped up. And you and I were talking about the season stats, Jay. I mean, it was a lot more of what we've been seeing. I mean, to have Melzer north of 1,500 yards on the ground, almost 10 yards a carry. With another 300 in the receiving, 33 touchdowns. With Borla, 76% completion rates, nearly 1,600 yards. It's balanced. 21 TDs and 1 pick. Is that even real? That's like some kind of video game if you're playing rookie,
right.
On Madden. Like that doesn't even happen.
And not to mention off of a first-year starter coming off of an ACL injury. So he wasn't even doing anything live until June. So what he's done has been just outstanding and leading the offense. And Melzer does what Melzer does. But again, up front. And I had the pleasure of being on the sidelines last week, and there was some violence on that field. I mean, there was some pads popping, there were some linemen firing off, moving humanity, and in a game that this team was they were ready to go. Now, that being said, now it's playoff time. And 7 days later, it's time to refocus and with a solid Fremont Ross team coming in here.
Well, that's the thing, and we'll talk more about Fremont Ross. But this is a team that's hot. This is a team that's went 4-1 in the last 5 games. They're coming off 3 wins in a row. This is a storied program, the Division II fixture in Region 6, as we've seen for many years. And they play at Charles Woodson Field. Super Bowl Hall of Famer,
right.
Charles Woodson,
right.
the bronze little giant statue out there. So we'll talk more about this program, but these guys they're big, they're strong, they're athletic, they're tall, and they're ready to play.
Yes.
And I think we won the toss and elected to receive.
Correct.
Okay.
So little different strategy tonight. I think Coach Gibbons might be all about trying to score first. Now, they got to be aware of onside kicks. This team does a lot of that in a lot of spots as they do boot this one deep. And it's going to be taken by Berkmeyer. He's got a hole.
Wow.
I'm sorry, that's Lucas Girding. My
Girding.
apologies. Out to about the 41-yard line. So beautiful starting field position for these Hornets.
I think that might be an aggressive move by Coach Gibbons, right? Said, you know what, let's get the ball. And he probably told the offense, we're going to get the ball, we're going to go score right now and start the playoffs off the right way. But I'll tell you what, we'll talk more about this, but Fremont Ross has some size, as much size as we've seen this year, I would think.
Yeah, you look at their defensive front, averaging about 290 across the board. There is a give to Melzer. He has to break it outside. He is going to pick up about 5 on first down. So a little penetration early, middle of the offense there. Melzer has to break it outside, but is able to pick up 5 yards on first down.
And you'll see this Little Giant defense do some different things. You'll see him in a 4-2. You'll see him pop back to a 3-4. You'll see a lot of movement, a lot of stunting, a lot of blitzing by these linebackers.
Yes, and they play a lot of cover 0, which appears to be in right now. Borla back to pass. He's taking a shot deep to Dobkowski.
Oh, and he
beautifully thrown ball. Caught down at about the 15-yard line. So listen, if you're going to try and go cover 0 against this offense, that is the type of thing that you're going to have to be willing to give up a couple of those, because Dylan Borla can throw that deep ball like that. And
that was not bad coverage. That was not bad coverage at all. It was just a perfectly thrown ball.
38-yard gain on that play. Right back to the line of scrimmage. Girding in motion. He takes the handoff on a jet sweep. And there's a flag down.
Might have caught that face mask on that tackle.
There, it looked like there could have been a hold there too, potentially.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, I think the end man might have got our tight end on a hold, and that's a risk on those stretch plays. So that's going to back the Hornets up. Make it 1st and 20.
But yeah, the Little Giants have a motto, TPW, tough people win, right? So I'm anxious to see these guys play tonight. But we're behind the sticks here.
So Borla with a little play action fake. They're going to set up a screen. That's Melzer. He's got a seam, and he is in. What a great play call on a 1st and 20.
Well, that's what we touched on. Is it's an aggressive defense, and they're committed to stopping the run, and then you just hit a perfectly timed. You don't see screen passes all the time on first down, right? So I don't think they were expecting that.
Right, and what great blocking on the edge there too. Had a nice block from
a
wide receiver.
He wasn't touched until he was inside the 5, if at all. What a good start. Snap, good hold, and good kick by Kauza.
So that was Mizer's 12th reception. As we got a replay up here, you can see you got Bendow, and that looks like Bendow Zywick leading the way, and Melzer went in untouched.
Yeah, he did.
So beautiful play call. You get behind the sticks, and Coach Gibbons knew right where he was going to go in that situation.
Hey, great replay, great camera work too, guys. That's perfect. Well, that's the start that they drew up. We talk about this. Not sure if some of those plays were scripted or not, but that's kind of how you think it ought to go when you're planning it out. We have a few different sponsors for our game tonight, Jay, that we'll hit on, and one of them is the Melzer Siliko real estate team at Howard Hanna. Thanks you guys for continuing to be wonderful supporters of the Highland School District. Joyce and Laura have been top realtors in Medina County for the past 20 years, offering experience and dedication to their clients. So we'll talk more about you guys as the game unfolds, but we appreciate the opportunity to be doing this, and it would not happen without our sponsors. So thank you, Melzer Siliko Real Estate Team.
So the kickoff was fielded in the end zone by Kevin Jones, but that's an automatic touchback. Another nice job by Jonah Kauza. on the kickoff there.
Well, and on offensively, we always talk about the weapons that we have. And look, on that first drive, you had Borla, you had Dubkowski, you had Girding, and you had Melzer. And now our defense comes out, and it's the same story. Playmakers all over the field.
So we've got a pre-snap penalty. Carson Caden took the snap, but
the Little Giants spread out themselves. They pass almost as often as they run.
Yes.
They pass it to 3 or 4 receivers, and they hand the ball off to 3 or 4 running backs.
It's a very balanced attack with what they do, and you know, they do a nice job of just mixing things up.
Yeah, they got a whole bunch of young men offensively that have north of 200 yards catching, receiving. And they got some height. 2 of their sophomore receivers are 6'2" and 6'3". So I bet we'll be hearing more from them here.
So there's a give to Brown. He's bouncing off to the right side. Gets a little seam, maybe picks up 4, maybe 5.
That might have been Zaylen Harris, I think, number 5. Senior running back. And then the quarterback's name will be called often, Carson Caden, senior, good-sized kid, 6'1", 215. And he does have Zaylen Harris in the backfield with him, with 3 receivers out left and 1 out to the right.
He's going to throw it this time. A quick set, just hits a quick out route there to number 11. That's Jadrian Brown. It's going to be just short of a first down. Just going to bring up a 2nd and 1. I'm sorry, 3rd and 1.
We talked about that offensive line, but they averaged 290 pounds. And you got one of them, the right tackle, 53. We'll keep an eye on Caden Maley, 6'6", 305, first-team All-Ohio, and he's a Kent State commit, as you pointed out to me earlier, Jay.
Yeah, they've got some good size up front. And we've got another penalty flag. That ball was going to be handed to number 9, Talon Brown. But that is going to be another illegal procedure. Going to back him up 5 yards, make it 3rd and 6.
Yeah, you hate to see that for the Little Giants. It's tough to get 10 yards on this defense, and it's tougher when you have 2 penalties here on the first drive. So now you got
5. Hornets going with 3 down linemen, bring an extra defensive back in the game. Steps up, but he is going to be taken down just short of a first down, it appears.
That's Jamison Gordon with a good tackle, a yard before the first down marker.
Yeah, really nice job staying home. Got into his drop, and it looks like the Little Giant offense is staying on the field as of this moment. 4th and about 1.5 yards. This is watch out for a hard count.
If they snap the ball, that would be one of the more aggressive moves you've seen, from their own 29-yard line.
They do snap it.
They sure do.
And they give it, and he stood up, and he's not going to get there. This is going to depend on a spot, but
both sides think that it is super close. I mean, he is right on it. They're gonna have to measure this one, Coach.
Well, they're moving the chains.
Move the chains.
So a bold move there does pay off by about an inch.
Well, they say it's a game of inches, right? And what an inch that was. That turns the complexion of the game if the 1 inch either direction there. Hey, you give them credit, man. That's a gutsy move.
It's a 2 seed versus a 15 seed, and
yeah,
these are the type of things the Little Giants need to make happen. So there's a toss. off the right side. That stacked up pretty quickly, but he is able to push forward for a gain of 2. Maybe Hornets think the ball was out. The officials do not. So it is going to bring up a second and about 7.
You got to respect this. The coach, Chad Long, is the Little Giants coach. I think he's in his 2nd year, and longtime wrestling coach, probably brings that wrestling mentality to the football field, that aggressive nature, and, you know, good for him. 2nd and 7. They got multiple running backs back there.
2
with
backs in the backfield looking
with Carson Caden.
And there's a deep ball, and they are going to get a penalty.
That's Metzger.
I'll tell you what, that is a tough that's a tough spot for a defensive back. You know, I find it interesting that it's always, well, you've got to get your head around. Well, the receiver didn't have his head around, and their feet got tangled up, but at the end of the day, that's going to be a 15-yard pass interference and a first down for the Little Giant offense.
Well, the first thing that struck me was Carson Caden had time. He had a few seconds to set his feet and to make a long throw, and we haven't seen that too often this year. And then Metzger didn't have bad coverage, but the receiver turned in and then he turned out, and Metzger was right on him, and he just got caught up.
Now they've got a second penalty flag down here at about the 44-yard line.
Did that just come out?
No.
It was out?
But again, some feet got tangled up down here. One of their receivers hit the deck, but interesting being tightly called. I mean, at some point in time, there's some incidental contact. I saw that one happen. I was why their receiver on the near side here was running a slant, and their feet just got tangled up, and he hit the deck. That's not a penalty.
Well,
at the end of the day, it's 1st and 10 at the Little Giant 48-yard line.
Yeah, and they have new life here.
So there's a give up the middle. Again, picking his way through, and they are getting a push. And a ball came out again.
They're going to say he was forward contact had stopped. And that was number 9 on the carry. Is that right? Talon Brown?
Yes. Strong run there.
That's that big offensive line, you know, helping make that push.
Well, I like what the Hornets are doing, though, as far as if they're going to wait to blow those whistles, rip that ball out.
Yeah.
You know, if you're not going to blow the whistle, then we're just going to keep ripping at the ball. We'll try and create a turnover off of it.
Yeah, I like that.
There's a give to Brown again. He stood up this time for no gain.
Nowhere to go that time at all.
Looked like definitely Noonan was the first man off the pile. I think Metzger was in the mix there from his corner position. And I also believe Ryan Zywick was in on that stop. So 3rd and 5.
It looks like they went to the 3 down linemen again here. I think. Yeah.
Yes. So they go empty. Hornets get pressure. Ball's out.
Wow, that was a fumble there.
That was picked up by number 50, Ryan Zywick. Ball just ended up in his hands.
Well, he got sandwiched. He didn't have too much time there. He dropped back. He was sandwiched by Zywick, maybe Noonan. Ball comes out.
Right.
And the Hornets got possession.
So big turnover there as, you know, a nice start to a drive there by the Little Giants. But on a 3rd and 5, as we're going to see a replay here, you can see Carson Caden step up as the Hornets get pressure. They bring pressure off the edge. He has to step up. And like you said, he got sandwiched by McKean and
Noonan maybe,
yes.
And Zywick was the recipient. And now you got first down Hornets.
So there's a give to Melzer. Patient run. Pushes ahead for a gain of about 7, maybe 8. Nice push there by the offensive line that time. create a little space for Casey to get moving.
How
They're
about
sticking in this cover 0. They are
Well,
gonna stay aggressive with it.
You know what? You kind of have to, though, right? If you're trying to stop the Hornets, and I don't know how you do it other than you can't sit back in a zone and let them pick you apart. I know that.
So we just had this play blown dead as one of the cornerbacks' knee pads were not covering his knees, so
All right.
one of those fun things that they have to keep their eyes on. There's a give to Faust. He's got a big hole and stays on his feet all the way down inside the 10, maybe the 6-7 yard line. What a beautiful play on a 40-yard gain. Gonna see another replay. He just had a hole. Well, he got a shoelace and
stayed on his
Faust
feet.
did a nice job staying on his feet.
Tough run.
Borla keeps this one, and there's nobody home. And they're going to mark him down at about the 1 foot line.
That was close.
It was a good read by Dylan Borla.
Think about those last 3 plays. Melzer, then Faust, and then Borla keeps it himself.
Now we've got a sideline warning on Highland.
What good decision by Dylan Borla there.
Yeah, great job. If you're going to key on 25, he's got to be a willing runner tonight, and he's shown that ability his entire career here at Highland. So
now you got 1st and goal at the 1-inch line.
So Hornets bring in their heavy set.
Throckmorton probably came in.
There is a give to Melzer, and he takes it in.
For his 35th touchdown of the year, 2nd on the night.
What a great drive.
You hate to keep talking about it, but they got so many weapons on this offense. They use them so well. Another drive where you had 3 or 4 guys touch the ball, even though it was only 4 or 5 play drive.
So Arvanides snap. Grady Gibbs hold, and Cowles' kick is up and good. So 14-0 Hornets. 4 minutes and some change left here.
It's pretty good start to this one, Coach.
Yeah, great view of that last play there from the end zone. Just a nice push up front by that offensive line.
Thanks again, Melzer Siliko, real estate team. Joyce and Laura have recently added Diana Anello to their team. They provide great service and care and allow us to do stuff like this on a beautiful night where we're watching the Hornets jump up early in the first quarter, 14-0.
Yes. Also, big thanks to Amanda Fall, State Farm Agency. She's been our premier sponsor through the regular season. And give us an opportunity to bring this one to you tonight as that ball is kicked into the end zone for another touchback. Nice job by Jonah Cowles.
Speaking of the live stream, shout out to our friend Bob Borla, who's one of our listeners, watchers, and he Dylan's grandpa. So Bob, we appreciate you watching, man.
Yes. It's one of the reasons we love to be able to bring these is you've got family out of town, and this is an opportunity to get to watch his grandson continue his outstanding season so far.
He sure has.
So Hornet defense takes the field. Looks like they are going back to 4 down linemen with Cody Bendow and Zywick in at tackle, with Noonan and McKean playing the defensive end spots. Faust, Whitling, and Gordon are your linebackers. Man in motion. That's a fake the jet sweep. And that was kept by Carson Caden.
Yeah, they faked it to Elijah Isagary, and he kept it.
Carson Noonan did a nice job from the defensive end spot, staying home there. Don't let the window dressing get to you, and there is going to be a personal foul on the Hornets.
I didn't see what happened.
I didn't either. This crew has been
We've seen a few flags early on here.
A little antsy with pulling the yellow out of their pocket.
We'll give them the benefit of the doubt early, but you hate to see too many flags on a
playoff football.
Beautiful playoff night like this.
Playoff football.
Yeah. Well, you got to think the Little Giants need to do something here. They need to move the chains a couple of times and get something moving.
Well, Hornets gave them a break with an early 15-yard first down. Nice comeback route. Has a nice job going down and catching that ball by Jadrian Brown on a comeback really on the sideline. Well thrown by Carson Caden. Those comebacks, that's a tough throw. It's a long way to throw it, and you're throwing it before he even comes out of his break. But did a nice job throwing it low and away where only one man could get to it.
Yeah, there's not a lot our corner Metzger could have did on that one.
Yeah, that's an undefendable route. So 2nd down and 2. It's a pickup of 8. So Caden going to let one go deep. He's got a man, and that ball is on the money and into the end zone. Jadrian Brown. Beautifully thrown ball. Just a go route down the sideline.
Perfectly thrown ball.
And a fantastic. He made that catch look a lot easier than it was.
Well, he had to stretch out for it. He had to really go get that ball.
Bryce Estep in for the extra point attempt. Snap is good. Hold is good, and kick is good. So just like that, the Little Giants cut that lead in half.
We're going to get to see a replay here.
So near side here, standing right on the 4. Just going to see just a quick fade route, and he just outruns the corner. Just a go route.
Well, we said Fremont Ross needed to respond, and I was thinking maybe a first down or two. I didn't anticipate that, right? But we knew that this is playoff football. We knew that this team has athletes. Yes. We know that they throw the ball, and we know that they scored points. They scored 135 points in the last 3 games. You know, they won 49-0 last week, so you know, we got to be ready for it. I'm sure we were ready for it, but that was a good play.
Perfectly executed.
Yeah.
You know, so
now you, as we sometimes say, when you get punched in the mouth, the only thing you could do is come back at it and score ourselves, right?
Kick is going to be taken by Girding at about the 8-yard line. Out across the 30. Taken out of bounds at the 35 by number 24, Norris Brown. So another really nice return. As we have a Little Giant down at the 35-yard line. Hey, real quick, while we have a second, I think it's important to talk about our girls' soccer team. Who, had a huge 5-0 win in a regional semi Wednesday night.
A couple nights ago,
I watched it. I watched the whole thing. I wasn't there, but they had a stream going. 5-0 win. So they play for a regional championship tomorrow at noon out at Sandusky Perkins High School against Salina,
yeah.
You know, good luck to those young ladies having an unbelievable season. and a chance at a state Final Four. This realignment, the Hornets are now Division III in soccer. They've always had to play in the Division I, so this realignment kind of, not saying it makes the road easier. I'm not trying to take anything away from anybody. That's not the point of saying this. It's just a bunch of different teams that you're playing that you've never seen before. A huge game tomorrow at noon out at Sandusky Perkins High School, where the Hornets looking for a trip to a state Final Four. Which would be just a great accomplishment for a program that within the last 5 years had never won a conference title.
Wow.
Now 2 years in a row in a regional final game. So exciting stuff for Coach Zufall.
Yeah, what he's doing, and the team is loaded. That team is loaded with talent, and they're blowing teams out of the water, scoring goals left and right, playing good defense. That's a fun team to watch. Speaking of fun teams, here we go.
There's a give to Melzer. He's got another hole. Bounces off a man. And he is out to the 35-yard line.
That's a nice little 30-yard gain.
29-yard gain on that. Again, a gaping hole.
Well, we've seen it all year long I think we're going to get a replay here.
Yeah, big hole there.
Good
and
hole.
He just
breaks
ran
the tackle.
Through a safety.
Accelerates.
So Borla takes the snap, fakes
it to Melzer.
On a roll. Looking for Dobkowski. That pass is broken up by number 19. That's Mason England. Nice play there. Faking that jet sweep, short roll
out.
That was well covered by that secondary.
They had 3 layers of receivers, and they looked all to be covered. So good job by Dylan Borla to not,
That's the old school flood route, right? Just get them
Old
layered.
school flood.
Yeah. So 2nd down and 10. Hornets with 2 receivers right, a tight end and another receiver left. Melzer in the backfield. Takes the give, and another nice gain out to the 27, 28.
Maybe an 8-yard gain, 7-yard gain.
So it's going to bring up a 3rd and about 3. It was a nice pickup on a 2nd down after a pass falls incomplete on 1st. Pick up 7, make it 3rd and very manageable here.
Yeah. So they're in what is that, a 4-4?
They do. They've got a lot of guys in the box here, and no safeties deep. That give is to Melzer.
And we still run the ball first.
Well, I'll tell you who made that play right there was Lucas Girding. Oh, we've got another flag down. Much to the surprise of absolutely nobody.
I was watching Girding as well, and I didn't see a hold there. Maybe I don't know who it was called on.
Girding made a great block.
You're right.
So I'm going to assume that flag was not on him because his block was what sprung that play.
It should not have been. So that goes from a 1st down inside in the red zone to a
3rd and 12.
3rd and 12 back at the 37.
So Hornets have a couple things set up here. We've seen them run that power with the 2 backs in the backfield. Of course, now we're going to go with the 3 receivers left, including a tight end. They are going to give it to Melzer on a quick stretch. And he's going to be brought down for no gain.
Yeah, well defended there. So now 4th down in no man's land.
You're a little bit in no man's land. I would think they are going to bring the punt team out.
Okay.
I don't hate this. I mean,
no, pin them deep, maybe.
If you can get them down inside somewhere inside the 10 or 15.
And as Evan Faust gets back to punt, who's also one of our lead runners, receivers, and the lead tackler on the defense.
So we've got a timeout on the field taken by Fremont Ross.
The other thing I want to keep tabs on tonight, Coach, is the other games going on in our region. North Royalton's down at Wadsworth. They beat them last week to I think get a share of the conference.
They did.
And they pulled an upset victory, and now their reward is they get to go back to Wadsworth again tonight and play them again.
What a quirky schedule, you know,
Yeah.
but that's playoff football. So
12 seed playing a 5 seed. We'll keep tabs on that. Then I also want to keep an eye on Avon Lake, Toledo, St. Francis de Sales in their 7-10 matchup. That could be a good one. So we'll do our best to get some updates for you as those games unfold.
So Hornets in punt formation. A little bit of a high snap, but that is booted down, and it checks up, but it does leak into the end zones for a touchback. So I've got a Wadsworth 17, North Royalton 0 nearing the end of the first quarter over in Wadsworth.
Yeah, I got a couple of text messages reflecting the same there. So, well, I'll tell you what, if you're Fremont Ross, you don't hate what's happened here in the last few minutes. It was 14-0, all Highland. They score on the long touchdown. They hold Highland, and now they have first down at the 20, down 14-7.
Yeah, big drive here. That ball's given, and he is stacked up
hard.
Quick. Is that Callan Whitling coming in there?
Yeah. Gordon was in there.
That might have been J-Mo Gordon, actually. Stacked up quick for no gain. Boy, J-Mo Gordon's had a great year.
Oh, he sure has. And that's the end of the first quarter. 14-7 Hornets. It's been a fun first quarter.
Sure has. Hey, one last big shout out to our first quarter sponsor, the Melzer Siliko real estate team at Howard Hanna.
Yeah.
And I know they've always been very supportive of Highland athletics. So if you have any needs, please reach out to Melzer Siliko real estate team at Howard Hanna. 330-461-4684. So we head to the second quarter. Like you said, 14-7. I would think that if I was the head coach, Chad Long, over at Fremont Ross, if I've got the ball down by one score at the start of the second quarter, I don't hate that. I don't hate that situation.
No, you come an hour and 20 minutes away, whatever it is, and your first goal is to not get blown off the field early on, right? To weather that kind of adrenaline rush that the home team would typically have. And now you find yourself in a ball game with your kids kind of believing that they can hang with this team. You know, you get a 2 against a 15, and now they believe they can. But Highland also believes that they can.
So Caden goes empty as he drops the snap. The ball's still on the ground, but it does appear to be covered up by the Little Giants. Noonan was there quick.
Yeah, and that's going to be an 8-yard loss. I couldn't tell if it was the snap or if it was just mishandled out of the shotgun.
I feel like that was a pretty good snap.
I thought
just
so as
took
well.
His eyes off of it, maybe. Trying to get a quick read and get the ball out of his hands quick. You know, when you're empty, you're not going to have a lot of time to throw. You don't have that extra blocker. He's trying to get that ball out of his hands quick and just took his eyes off. So that's going to bring up a third and about 17, maybe 18.
Yeah.
They're going empty again. Got a go route coming down the sideline. Good coverage. Great job there by Colton Faust, number 5. Just staying in phase right in his hip pocket, nowhere to throw that football.
He threw a nice ball there.
Great defense.
They came out here to play. I mean, how about that? 3rd and 17. You might be expecting a little screen pass, maybe a draw, maybe something conservative, get some room, punt it. They had other ideas though.
Well, they hit one early, and they say, you know
Yeah.
what? We trust
Let's
our
try
guy.
it.
We trust our guy to throw a ball down the field, and he threw a great ball. Only one man could catch it, and just really good defense there by Colton Faust.
It sure was. And I think they were trying to get that to. Was that Jadrian Brown again? They were trying to get it to. I think so. There's the
Bryce
punt.
Sheets, actually.
Short punt.
And that's muffed, and it's going to be recovered
by
Fremont
Giants.
Ross. And we've got a flag down.
I haven't seen a signal yet.
I haven't either.
It hit, so it was the punt returner came up, fair caught it, or tried to fair catch it at the 40. I couldn't tell who that was. Was that Girding? No. I don't know who that was.
We apologize. These numbers are brutal on the gray jerseys to see. It is hard to see.
No, it really is.
Got a personal foul against Fremont Ross. So that's going to back them on their starting field position up.
So they never signaled that it's their ball, but it looks their offense is out there. So it was a skirmish for the ball. I guess Fremont Ross got it, and that's a tough one. We played good defense, have the ball in good field position. It's tough to catch those punts, though. I do know that. There's some confusion out on the field right now.
Yeah.
1st and 10 at the 24-yard line for Fremont Ross.
Called a 15-yard penalty and marked it off 13 yards. So there's a give. Trying to get the edge.
That's Zaylen Harris. Got around the corner for 6 yards.
Did a nice job there. There was a little bit of penetration in his face, but he did a nice job getting a stiff arm, able to get the edge and pick up about 6 on 1st down. Looked like Girding had a shot at him, but he was able to get the edge and pick up 6 on 1st down. So 2nd down and 4.
3 receivers out to the left, wide side of the field.
And another, this time the snap was low, and it's just going to be covered up by Caden.
2 drives in a row now that one was definitely, like you said, that was a low snap. Quarterback didn't have much of a chance there. But now you got 3rd and 17 again.
Got 450 folks, 450 screens watching at home. Thanks for joining us tonight.
Well, they went long last time on 3rd and 17.
And they're taking a deep drop, steps up, nowhere to go, and he is caught from behind. That looked like Carson Noonan, I believe.
They were trying to go deep again, weren't they? He just didn't have the time.
Stay aggressive. I mean, obviously they're in a situation where they won 4 of their last 5. They're playing good football. You got to, dance with who brung you. Is that what they say?
That's what they say.
So, I appreciate that. You can't worry about who you're playing all the time. You just gotta go make plays and make plays the way you've been making plays for the last month.
Who's that deep for us? Same punt, short punt this time. Hits the Fremont Ross player in the back.
It was Girding back deep that time. Hornets going to get great starting field position.
So I'll tell you what, a lot happened in the last minute or two, but the net of it is Highland has the ball at the 40 like they were going to a couple minutes ago.
Right.
So we're right back to that place. 2 good defensive series for the Hornets there.
So Borla with Melzer in the backfield. Tight end Faust right with 2 receivers. Dobkowski's solo receiver to the left. Fake the jet sweep. That's kept by Borla right up the middle. He's going to pick up about 5. They like to show that jet action and have Dylan keep that, just staying on the midline, getting right up the middle of the field. Yep. Nice pickup on first down.
Well, he's made a lot of real good decisions this year. Mostly all good decisions. He's a smart player. He doesn't throw the ball away. Very intelligent young man and ball player.
So fakes
it.
He's looking for Dobkowski deep, and they're going to call it incomplete.
Oh.
Wow, that was close. Another perfectly thrown ball and good coverage.
That was
a nice catch by Nick Dobkowski.
I mean, I don't want to say he had a foot in, but he was close. I mean, I thought he had a foot in, but they have a better view than I do, I guess. It was a good time to do that. Now you reset it with 3rd and 5.
Yes.
4 down territory. I wouldn't be surprised if Melzer gets this ball.
He might be in 4 down territory here, so you got a couple downs to work with.
For sure.
That is a give to Melzer. He gets contact early, going to break it outside and take it down pretty late. No flag came out that time.
He's taken out 5 yards out of bounds and brought to the ground, but he did get the first down.
I think he's going to be about a half a yard shy or a foot shy.
Well, the home fans do not like that spot from what I'm hearing.
We got the big boys coming in now. So I thought I saw Throckmorton check into the game. I saw looked like J-Mo Gordon coming in to play an extra tight end position. 4 tight ends in the game essentially. As that ball's given to Melzer, and he's got plenty of space to pick up the first down.
Yeah.
Good push there by the boys up front. Yeah, McKean, Gordon, and Throckmorton all checked in for that 4th down play. Got a nice push up front.
You like that package, don't you, Coach?
You
like that.
You can never have too many tight ends on the field.
I like it too.
Fakes the steps up, looking for Melzer.
Oh.
Little T-split action, just running the tailback right up the middle of the field.
Where Borla gets the ball, he ducks ducks back out, throws it over the top, and.
But again, nice job.
Good play.
Just keep it to where only one man can catch it.
Yeah.
Just out of the reach of Casey Melzer there. So 2nd and 10. Two tight ends in the game again for the Hornets. Going to run a little counteraction. They got it walled off again. And there is another nice pickup by Casey Melzer.
Another 8-yard run. That was an interesting one because Girding went in motion to the right, and they handed it to Melzer going off to the left.
Yeah, and they also brought a guard pulling.
Yeah, I don't know if that might have been a little bit of a different take on that play than we've seen in the past.
Just a little counter action.
That's all.
Good stuff.
Just a little counter. Now you got 3rd and 2. As you might say, you got the playbook wide open here.
That's right. Just give it to 25, and he is in. Again, point of attack, no chance for the Little Giants.
No.
And Melzer takes it in from the 15-yard touchdown there? 17-yard touchdown, my apologies.
And that looked a lot like Noonan and Zywick over there, and whoever else, Messina.
Yes.
I couldn't tell if McKean was on that side or not, but really good job of blocking by that offensive line.
Kick is up and good. So, second quarter sponsor. I want to say a big thank you to the Hornets Nest, as we're going to show you a quick replay, but while we're doing that, big thanks to Carla Schock and Laura Garcia at the Hornets Nest. Offer a unique collection of items fit to everyone's taste. Gear up with the latest styles, from tees to cozy hoodies, so you can be ready to support your team for every game. We offer a variety of styles for all ages, including infants and toddlers. We also have some great non-clothing items as well: mugs, earrings, bracelets, tumblers, blankets, and so much more. You can visit our storefront location, 1303 Sharon Copley Road in Sharon Center, or online at hornetsnestboutique.com. We love bringing our community together so they can show off their school spirit on game day and every day. Get your gear today.
And I'll tell you what, Jay, I went down to visit Laura and Carla, and I picked up this quarter zip pullover
good
here.
Stuff right there.
I don't know if you can get a shot. There I am. Good people down there, and they have a lot of great things. I also got this hat while I was down there. So thank you to Carla and Laura.
Yeah, thanks Carla Schuck and Laura Garcia. Store hours Monday 11 to 5, Wednesday 11 to 5, Friday 12:30 to 5:30. HornetsNestBoutique.com.
Yeah, thank you, ladies. Thank you. But I'll tell you what, Jay. You and I talk about this a lot. We sit up here and analyze things, but these boys are down there playing ball, and they know that any football game is going to have ups and downs. They know that everything's not going to go your way. They know that every call's not going to go your way, and you got to battle through it, right? We're up here, we're old guys announcing it, but these boys are down there playing ball, and they didn't let those calls that could have went either way get to them, and they made it happen, and they took back control of this game.
Caden trying to set up for something deep. He's going to be flushed to his left. That's a nice job running out of bounds and picking up a couple. No, you're absolutely right. That so what next play mentality, right?
Yeah.
I mean, at the end of the day, whatever happens, happens, and we've got to line up and execute the next play.
Yeah, they don't have the luxury down there of worrying about what happened on the last play, right? They're down there saying, okay, let's move forward, and they did that.
So that's my problem, to worry about what happened on the last play.
That's what we do. That's what we do up here.
Yes.
Yeah, but they don't have time for that. And now the only thing they're worried about now is getting another stop and keeping the momentum and the pedal down against what I would call a pretty high-powered, potent offense here from Fremont Ross.
Caden takes the snap, deep drop, pressure in his face, and that ball falls incomplete.
Might have been tipped by somebody. That was a good
I think it was intended for Elijah Isagiri.
Yeah.
And but I think you're right. That might have been tipped right at the line of scrimmage. So third down and 7.5, maybe 8.
Now so they brought in number 4. Is that Kyle Williams?
That is Kyle Williams.
Okay. For an extra defensive
Yeah,
back.
have him playing in a slot, like a nickel corner.
It's a lot of DBs out on the field.
Yeah, they're running a little bit of a cover, maybe a cover 1 type of situation with one free safety playing deep, and that ball's intercepted, and that is taken in. That is Kyle Williams.
Just comes in the game. Well, he was pressured, and the defensive lineman, I couldn't tell who that was. Maybe we'll get to see it.
Yeah.
Batted that ball up, and Kyle Williams saw it, came and got it, and took it to the house. Good play.
And we've got a flag really late that just got thrown. Here's a replay. Let's take a look at
who.
He went with another deep drop. Oh, that hit right off of Carson Noonan's shoulder pad. I would love to say he got a hand on it, but he got a shoulder on it. It looked like
a big shoulder on it.
It's good to be 6'4", running around out there.
It looked like they got one of the offensive linemen, maybe for Fremont Ross there. Had maybe a couple extra words for the referee. I'm not sure what happened there, but
Hornets have elected to take that on the kickoff, so they'll be kicking from the 45-yard line.
Jonah Kauza, a good soccer player on that successful boys soccer team, has been a real good addition for us this year, kicking that ball.
Well, in one season, he's already, number 7 on the all-time list of
is he really?
Kickers for extra points or for scoring.
He's got a leg.
Yes, he does.
Well, 28-7. It doesn't feel like too many minutes ago that we were up 14-7 and Fremont Ross had the ball.
Yeah.
And now, just like that,
right,
Highland stop, score.
Yeah, real quick, too, just take a second to mention another big deal. We have a boys cross-country running in the state meet tomorrow.
Yes.
Ty Scambatti, his race will run at 2 p.m. tomorrow at Fortress Obetz down, I think it's south end of Columbus.
Yeah.
Big campus down there. But Ty's had a great career and opportunity to run down at the state meet tomorrow, so good luck to him. Congratulations to him and his coaches, and go enjoy that experience tomorrow and, go put up a number.
Well, he put up a number last week, and I can't remember what it was. It was 16 minutes and something,
okay.
And I'm not a cross-country expert, but whatever time it was solid. Let's say that. Got him in that top 30, I think it is. Good for him.
So Hornets kicking from the 45 and just going to kick it through the end zone. So the Little Giants will take over at the 20-yard line. So I did see real quick, Brandon. I was looking. It looks like a low-scoring game, that Avon Lake and St. Francis de Sales. 7-7 last I saw at the end of the first quarter over at that game being played at Avon Lake.
Okay. And I saw Anthony Wayne's up 35-0 on Rhodes, and then I saw Royalton was down 17-0 down at Wadsworth. We'll keep an eye on those games.
So there is a give to, that was number 4, Elijah Izagiri.
And he had
a 54 right in his face real fast.
Yeah, and he's not getting up.
No. Carson Noonan has proven to be a bit of a problem tonight for the Little Giant offense.
Well, it all works together, too. You know, you saw the quarterback mishandle the snap, and then you saw the low snap. Why is that, though? Because you're looking up at 54 and 50, and they put some abnormal pressure on you as an offense.
Absolutely.
And you're always aware where they're at, and they get in fast, and they kind of have the potential to mess up what you're trying to accomplish as an offense.
Absolutely.
And then there, Gary gets the ball, and he had exactly nowhere to go.
Well, I can't speak to everybody that this Fremont Ross team has played this year, but I would have to think that this is one of the best front sevens that they've played all year. And because this is one of the best front sevens that I've ever seen here at this in our program.
Yeah.
And so it's a lot to handle with a couple interior guys like what that they've got. And now they're going to this special package where they put Noonan and Zywick in the defensive tackles. Matt Dean comes in as a defensive end.
Yeah, he did.
Snap and a quick fade route.
Oh,
what
really
a great play by Nick Dobkowski. Just boxed him out, got up, tipped the ball away.
Well, the thing about that was 19, Mason England is 6'3", but Dobkowski is not short.
He's got to be 6'2".
He's 6'2", and he had perfect position, right where he needs to be, looked back for the ball. Good play.
Yes. So this is going to be a 3rd and 12. 2 backs in the backfield.
they've been chucking it up deep on 3rd and long. I wonder if they might try some type of a screen pass this time, or
straight drop.
nope.
Looking deep again. That's overthrown and incomplete. So they have not attacked the middle of the field at all. Everything has been on the sidelines thus far.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring up a 4th and 12. 6 minutes, 20 seconds left here in the second quarter. And big opportunity for this Hornet offense if they can secure a punt. Big opportunity to really put, I'm not saying put the game away, but really put Fremont Ross in a tough spot going into halftime here.
Yeah, and that's I think that's Girding.
That's another short punt. Girding's going to stay away from it as it bounces out of bounds at about the 42, 43-yard line.
Well, this whole quarter has looked a lot like zero offense from the Little Giants and then great field position for the Hornets. I think all of our drives have started on the other side of the 50, around the 40-yard line.
Yes.
It's almost like the Little Giants, they certainly have talent and they certainly are a solid program, but this is a tall order for any team here to come to this field and face these guys. Not saying it's over, but it's just it's a lot to handle.
And, I saw today that Hornets are 10-0 in playoff games at home since this stadium was built.
Yeah.
As that ball is thrown up the seam, just out of the reach of Evan Faust.
That's the second or third time we've seen good throws, just a half yard too far.
And again, good coverage. I mean, he's right in his hip pocket. He's
Yeah.
not giving, they're not giving Dylan Borla a lot of room to throw the football.
No. But what he's had is he's had time to throw the ball.
Yes.
I can't picture too many times when he's been pressured. And there's some D linemen over there that aren't messing around, but that offensive line, we talk about their run blocking all the time, but they can pass block too. Then you give it to Melzer up the middle for another 8.
So there's that counter again, or power, if you want to say. It's a guard pulling, and then they bring the Y back from the opposite side of the formation, kick out the defensive end with the guard, and lead up through with that Y. Nice pickup. Makes it 3rd and very manageable, 3rd and 3. Athletic guards are a beautiful thing with Bendow and Messina. Being able to bring them across the formation. As there's a fake jet sweep. Borla keeps it, and we've got another flag down.
And a tackle 6 yard out of bounds, but that's okay. I'll tell you, we've had more holding calls. That might be the 3rd one that we don't typically see that often with our offensive line.
Well, you said it, I didn't.
Well, it's an abnormal amount of flags is all I'm saying. I'm not saying they're wrong. I'm just saying that it's more than we've typically seen.
We'll just leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. But it makes it go from a 3rd and 3, or actually a first down,
and 10 from inside the 20 to
once again
3rd and 13 from the 48-yard line.
That's the 3rd time we've said that this half.
So here we go.
I'm anxious to see what they call. They got three receivers out to the left.
A little bit of a bunch formation near sideline. Borla takes a snap, little play action. He's looking for Faust up the seam. And I'll tell you, there's no way that route on the top of the formation was supposed to. There was
pretty close together.
Yeah, there was somebody was in the wrong position there, because that ball was broken up by a corner that was covering a post route on the top receiver, Dobkowski, came off of it and broke it up on a seam route intended for Evan Faust.
That's an astute comment by a lineman, but you're not wrong. I
ran a couple routes too.
It enabled the guy to peel off his guy and break that up, because if he doesn't do that,
great punt.
Yeah, it was. inside the
Knock
5.
it down. It's going to be spotted right at the
boy,
5.
Evan Faust. His last punt could have did that too, but we weren't able to get it down. But you're right. If that guy doesn't peel off, that's a completion because Faust had him by 2 yards. The ball was there. But it's a good defensive play, though.
Yes. Hey, real quick, big thanks to the Hornets Nest. Just be sure, check in, see what they've got. They've got all kinds of great stuff over there. Carla and Laura running the show. They've got a website, too, that I would encourage everybody to check out, hornetsnestboutique.com. So great little spot over in Sharon, right off of the circle over there. So go pick up some Hornet gear today. Quick stop route. Nice pickup on first down as that ball was caught by Jadrian Brown. He's going to pick up 11, maybe 12.
Real quick about the Hornets Nest, they also have golf shirts there. They didn't until I told them to order them. They ordered them for me, and they said they ordered some extras. So they're good golf shirts that you can grab there as well.
Never have too many of those.
Well, that's it. That's it.
So there is a flag down. It looks like at about the 12 or 13 yard line. I missed it. Did you see what they called?
I did not. I don't know if Andrew or somebody else.
Whatever it was, it's a half a distance to the goal, and it's still first down.
Was it some type of a holding? I mean, it's a shame because it negated a good play.
It was a nice play on
it
first
was one
down.
of the best plays that they've had in a while.
Just a quick hitter on a stop from their inside receiver.
And now they're in a tough spot.
Yeah. They're going empty from the 2 yard line. Hornets showing pressure. Picked up quick. And that ball is stacked up quickly.
Little quick screen pass out to the receiver and for no gain. Hornets aggressively stripping that ball.
I believe that's a Callan Whitling first man there. He does a nice job from that linebacker spot, triggering on those swing passes.
Yeah, he's had a nice year.
So second down and about 13. Empty set again for Caden. He rolls, throws it up towards the sideline. It's caught, but he is well out of bounds. That ball was caught by number 19, Mason England.
Well, Caden had a 54 in his face, and he had to get that ball out pretty quick.
We've got another penalty, by the way. Procedure penalty. That tells me that was some sort of a illegal formation.
Somebody
maybe?
Not on the line of scrimmage, maybe, or.
Yeah, if they didn't blow it dead, it must have been an illegal formation.
Well, this drive has went from bad to worse here for these guys. I don't know what you do here. 3rd and long from your own 3.
Hornets bringing in a little bit of a speed pass rush situation where they have flipped. Now Noonan and Zywick are at the defensive ends with Dean and Faust
on the inside,
lining up inside and in 2-point stances.
There it is.
And just a little quarterback draw. Nice pickup. At least gives them room for this punt.
They're not too far short of that first down, but I don't think they would go for it for 4th and 3. Here comes the punting team. That's more along the lines of some of the plays we would have expected them to call on 3rd and 13.
Right.
We've seen all long passes where that you talked about the middle of that field could potentially be open, and they tried that quarterback draw.
Right.
And it wasn't a bad play, but they're punting from their own end zone here with 3.5 minutes to go in the half.
Now, part of the reason that they're throwing the ball outside is because 22 and 11, with Garrett Phillips and Josh Arvanites have done a great job from their safety positions all season.
Yes.
Garrett had 2 interceptions last week, and so there's teams that probably see that and say, we might not want to attack the middle of the field too much.
No, you're
but
right.
in a situation like that, like what you're saying though, like just if nothing else, that gave them room to get that punt off, and that was their best punt of the night. Hornets take over at the 36-yard line. Hey, real quick, I want to mention too. Our volleyball team lost a heartbreaker last night in the regional semifinal. Had to drive all the way to Menor to play Hoban. But what a great season for those ladies, and Coach Merck, and another appearance in a regional. Had a great year, so congratulations to them on a great season. That ball is going to be handed off. I believe that was Evan Faust on the carry. Now, we've seen them do this a couple times, and then they put Faust and Melzer in the backfield, and they will show that a couple times, and they'll run that wheel route with Melzer up a sideline. And with about 3 minutes left and a half, I wouldn't be surprised they come back to that if they need to take a shot.
Yeah,
because they're running a 4-4,
I think you
and
just
there
called
it is.
Oh my goodness!
I mean, you can't put. You're asking a linebacker to cover Casey Melzer man-to-man coming out of the backfield on a wheel route. So you show it to him and show it to him and show it to him, and then he just leaks out, and there's nobody within 12 yards of him when he catches a football.
So you not only talked about that pregame. You talked about that exact scenario pregame with when you play man-to-man on the edges and back, then that could leave a linebacker on Melzer. And then you just talked about it before the play. You predicted that play. I don't want to – it's not about you, but I'm just saying you did correctly call that. And what a beautiful time for that. And I don't think anybody picked up Melzer.
No. Well, they had 4 linebackers in the game. And you're asking an outside linebacker to cover Casey Melzer on a wheel route. There are very few high school outside linebackers. Let's just take a look at it again. He's just going to run straight out into the flats and just turn it up the sideline. He's showing like he's blocking. There's nobody within 12 yards of him.
Wow.
And nobody even looking at him. And in that situation, you've got 4 linebackers. You're in a 4-4. You've got 4. That outside linebacker, I mean, he's thinking run, and then he just walks right by him and essentially walks into the end zone.
They had guys back, but they all went inside. You wouldn't necessarily want to have nobody on 25. It's probably not how they designed it as a defense, but you'd rather have 2 or 3 guys on 25 maybe than 0.
But a great scheme, well drawn up. I
was going to say the same thing, Jay. You could see it on film, and that's one thing. But then when you see it live, and you hadn't seen it yet all game,
Calza boots another one into the end zone.
What a good play call, and just like that, it's 35-7.
Yeah, this has happened quick, right?
We're still in the second quarter.
It was 14-7, and they had the ball
at the end, towards the end of the first quarter.
And it's 35-7 quick.
Well, it's like we talked about Highland. I don't know that Highland's given up a first down the whole second quarter. The one first down they had was called back. It has just been that I think that touchdown,
defense.
Was kind of a wake-up call for us, just a little bit, like we've seen a couple of times before.
Caden going with another quarterback draw. Looked like Evan Faust, first man there, and then a host of Hornets get him on the ground. Highland's going to burn a timeout.
Yeah, that was McKean and Gordon and Faust and the whole crew there.
So timeout, 2 minutes, 24 seconds left. Real quick, I wanted to so pregame, we're up here and we're chatting with some of their coaches and some of their staff and whatnot. I wanted to know where Little Giants came from.
You did. You're always inquisitive.
I'm an inquisitive
and you're
person,
a researcher.
Right? Yes.
You've been known as.
Yes. So, chatting with those guys. So the story is that their big rival is Sandusky. And years ago, their rivalry with Sandusky dates back to 1895. Is that what I said?
That's what they said.
So years ago, they went into a game as a big underdog, both physically and per record.
Yeah.
They went into a game and knocked off a Sandusky team and took on the moniker, the Little Giants, because that's what they were in that ball game. I thought that was kind of a cool way to come up with a school mascot. As there's a short pass underneath, and that is a big hit by Jamison Gordon. That was that number 4 on the catch? You said Gary?
Yeah, he got hit hard. But that's a neat story, though. There's rivals still today with Sandusky,
right.
130 years later.
Right.
And this game happened, I think, in the 1950s. Big-time underdogs, and they were the Little Giants that could make it happen on that day. And then, like we talked about, they got the bronze Little Giant of Charles Woodson, and that's a neat field. My brother was telling me he played there. The Royalton played there a couple years ago. He said it's a great field and a cool statue, and they're real proud of Charles Woodson and one of the best players of all time, right? It was a Fremont Ross Little Giant.
Yes. He went to the University of Michigan.
I didn't want to say that.
I don't really like to talk about that.
You
but
notice I didn't mention that.
He was the last defensive player to win a Heisman Trophy.
In 1997, maybe?
I believe, yes.
I remember.
And then went on and had a Hall of Fame professional career. And they were saying that when he got that statue unveiled and everything, he was in town for all that, which was pretty cool to have the alumni come home and be a part of that stuff.
That's what it's about, man. High school football,
right.
Like we said, Ohio high school football doesn't get a lot better than this.
So 3rd and 3. Hornets bring some pressure, and he is going to be swallowed up by 50 and 54. And Hornets going to use their final timeout. So that's Zywick and Noonan. I'll tell you what, they just don't have an answer.
No, they don't.
For Carson Noonan. I mean, he is just setting up shop in the backfield on every play.
We've talked about this all season. And first of all, how lucky are we that what John Bailey and what the athletic department has done here, with what these coaches and kids have done. When you look at all these teams that are having such success as Highland Hornets, it's a very cool time to be affiliated with this program. But as far as the football team is, we've talked about it all year. These guys are relentless. I would not want to be a play caller on an opposing team because I don't know what you do.
Yes.
I don't. There's not a lot of answers that these opposing teams have. And once again, for the 5th time this quarter, they're punting from their own end zone.
Yes. So Girding back to receive it again. Good snap. Low line drive, fair caught at about the 47-yard line. So minute 55, 35-7. And a holding penalty on the Little Giants. This might be one you think about accepting and back them up even more and have them punt it again.
Yeah, you could go either way on it. We did muff a punt a few drives ago. We do have the ball on their side of the 50.
High school, they mark it off.
You can't even
you don't
make them redo
it. You don't have to redo it, right? No, they declined it. Okay.
Yeah.
They are marking it off.
You're right.
Okay. This is where all those rules, like it's
I
different in
get 'em all
college and high school.
You're better at that than me. I get them all confused, but
so
Highland
good field position just went to great field position.
That's exactly what I was just going to say, actually. We got a stands full of people, Jay. As I look over, the
home crowd showed up tonight.
Yeah, they did. That's very cool to see. Bands getting ready to play at halftime.
So St. Francis de Sales is up 14-7 at Avon Lake at halftime. As that is a give to Girding. He's going to pick up 3. If Hornets win this game, they will host the winner of that game. If Fremont Ross wins this game, they will go to either of those teams is the way that would work.
Okay.
So,
and you said, Jay, tell me again, you said I was looking at a 14-7?
Yes, 14-7 halftime. Borla looking deep. He's got Berkmeyer out there just out of his reach.
That was a pretty good thrown ball. Good coverage.
Really.
That's the 4th time we've said that. Good coverage. Just
I'll tell
missed.
you what, I made that comment about cover 0, and they've done a nice job, at least on the outside, in cover 0. They're going to get in trouble trying to cover backs and tight ends.
Yeah.
But their outside corners have done an outstanding job with our outside receivers tonight.
Well, they're an athletic group. They're a fast group, and they're playing smart. It's just too many. There's too many weapons. Borla drops back again and dumps it off to Girding underneath.
It's coming across in a little crossing route.
Yep.
Gonna pick up maybe 6, 7. It's gonna bring up a 4th and 2, I'm sorry. So I would say 4th down, with time and everything. I mean, they've got a lot of options in this situation. 4 linebackers. They're going to give it to Melzer. He's got a hole, and he's got a 1st down.
It's about 5.
Just get it to your bread and butter. You got 1:10 left. Clock stops as they move the chains. Hornets going to get a play called quick. Get back to the line quick.
Sometimes you don't have to overthink it. Just knock them off the ball, give it to 25, move the chains. This
Play
time
action.
they fake it
Borla
to
looking
him.
deep, and that's
picked off.
It is picked off.
Yeah. He was double covered out there. That was 19.
Well, again,
Mason
I tell you,
England.
Mason England broke off of his man to make that interception. The outside receiver ran some sort of a comeback or a stop, and he saw that ball going deep, and he just took off and went and took it away.
Well, that's the advantage as a defensive back when you're looking at the quarterback. I know sometimes they teach you to look at the receiver only, but if you got one eye on the quarterback, you can do that. He saw he wasn't going to the little stop pattern, and he came off, and he made a real athletic play.
Well, England was in great position over top of his receiver, and then his eyes went to the backfield and saw that ball going up, and he just took off and made a great play on the football.
Well, he's 6'3", and he high-pointed it,
yes.
So he went up to get it.
So 4 receivers left. He's going on a deep route to the single receiver side, and it's picked off by Metzger.
It was talk about another athletic play by Metzger. He high-pointed that ball.
Yes, he did. So Chris Metzger takes it right back. Hornets get it back at the 46-yard line. Still 47 seconds left in the half. I want to double check, but I believe that's Metzger's first interception of the season. Outstanding.
Well, that really was. 6'2" Metzger. There's some big receivers and defensive backs out here tonight. So Borla's looking to throw it. It gets whistled dead. I don't know. Was there a timeout? No.
Dead ball. False start.
Okay.
So that was indeed Chris Metzger's first interception of the season. Now, did any time tick off the clock? Was there 47 seconds left? Because that should go back on the clock if that's a dead ball foul.
Yep. You're right. You know what they always say about how defensive backs have to have short memories? Metzger had to have a short memory, right? Because he gave up the play earlier on, as happens to any defensive
100%.
back. He forgot about it.
That's a great point.
And he came back and made that play.
It's given to Melzer. Stacked up pretty quick. So 35 seconds and ticking. Borla trying to get him into a huddle quickly. Just a quick call. This is going to be one of those situations where they've just got to see what they do with this play.
We don't have any timeouts,
Correct.
I don't think.
So he's looking up the sideline. He's got Dobkowski out there. He caught it again, but he's out of bounds again.
Huh.
Another great catch.
That was exactly what we saw in the first quarter, where great catch. I guess he didn't get a foot down. Okay.
So 14 seconds. Hornets with no timeouts. This is where you look to, you might see something that you haven't seen a lot of. And they're going to set up the screen. There's nobody open. Borla's going to keep it, and that will wind out the first half.
Yeah.
Good decision, though. If Fremont was all over that screen pass on the near sideline, multiple defenders there in good position. So Dylan did a nice job pulling it down and taking whatever he could get out of it.
Well, that was a heck of a first half of playoff football here that we got to see tonight. The good news is we have another half to go.
That's right.
We'll do our thing, reporting on the stats like we and you always do. You'll crunch some numbers at halftime.
Break things down from
break it down from a fundamental standpoint and a stat standpoint, and then we'll take it from there, Coach.
Yeah, so we've got your halftime shows. Pride of Highland as well as Fremont Ross going to take the field first. We will bring all of that to you. So 35-7 as we head to the half, and we will be back with you for the start of the second half.
Fremont Ross High School is proud to present for the 104th consecutive year the Fremont Ross Marching Little Giants. Our band is directed by Mr. John Calhoun and Miss Jacqueline Schrader. Our band is led on the field by drum major Emmy Berrickman. Our theme last year was music from Bruno Mars. Our seniors have elected to revisit one of his biggest hits. This piece is from his debut album. It's a combination of retro, funk, pop rock, soul, bubblegum, all wrapped together. We feature our senior majorette Madison Bassett, joined by her sister Macy. Let's enjoy some Runaway, Baby. Back in 1978, one of the biggest movies of the year was Grease, starring John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John. In it we saw flying cars, racing cars, just lots of cars. That movie included a lot of dancing too. Too bad it's some dancing also. You may recall this line from the movie. It's automatic, it's systematic, it's hydromatic, it's greased lightning. We close by thanking you for your kindness tonight, and we look forward to hearing your halftime show. We also honor our seniors and your seniors as they approach the end of their marching career. Now we're going to close with a hit from the Jackson 5 from our Motown show. Although the Jackson 5 was a treat to listen to, it was just plain fun to watch them move. So our band's going to recall the Jackson 5 in their I Want You Back. Thank you for your kindness. We are the Fremont Ross Marching Little Giants.
Ladies and gentlemen, we proudly present your 2024 Pride of Highland Marching Band! We open tonight's performance with a Pride of Highland Marching Band favorite from the British rock band Queen. Here is Fat Bottom Girls. We continue tonight's performance with a Fall Out Boy favorite that samples the theme music from the 1960s television classic The Munsters. Here's Uma Thurman. performance with Van Halen's most successful single of all time. Off their album 1984, this is Jump.
Again, we'd like to thank 4K Roofing and Restoration, Michael and Camden Kabat, for
Welcome
joining
back
us this evening
to
and sponsoring.
Granger Township, North Gateway Tire Field. We got about 45 seconds, Coach, until the second half starts. And as you always do, you broke things down for us, you and Andrew, from a stats standpoint.
By me and Andrew, you mean Andrew.
I mean Andrew and Andrew. But
yes.
When I looked, the first thing that jumped out at me was the total yards, right? Highland had 262 to 101 total yards by Fremont. And, and then Melzer's 4 touchdowns jumped out at me as well. I don't know why it jumped out at me, but because it's kind of the norm.
Yes. What, 141 rushing, 108 receiving, 2 touchdowns in each direction. I mean, just it's crazy. But like we were saying though, I mean, they're trying to cover Casey Melzer with running back or with linebackers. So, it's pretty wild what happened. And Borla, 4 of 11, 132 yards, 2 touchdowns. 4 of 11, that's not a great number. We get it, but the outside coverage has been outstanding, and there's been a couple bang plays on the sideline, just didn't get a foot in bounds. So, we could easily be 8 of 11.
Yeah, that's un-Borla-like numbers, but at the same time, he's not throwing the ball bad. There was 3 or 4 of them that almost hit.
Yeah. All right, one more big thanks to the Hornets Nest over in Sharon, and Carla and Laura and what they do, and the great gear that they have over there. You've got me wanting to go make a purchase with what you've got on tonight.
I didn't know that I'd be a model tonight, but next time they shoot me, you'll be able to see my hat and my quarter zip, okay?
There you go.
This way you could see.
There he is.
There it is. I'm looking at the camera.
Big thanks to them. 1303 Sharon Copley Road in Sharon Center. They're open Mondays and Wednesdays from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m., Fridays from 12:30 to 5:30. HornetsBoutique.com, or you can reach out directly to Carla at HornetsBoutique.com, or 440-476-8758. So big thanks to the Hornets Nest for their sponsorship of the second quarter and halftime tonight.
And like I said, they have that small town feel. You go in there right on the circle, and they didn't have a golf shirt my size, and they said, don't worry, I'll order it for you, and it'll be here next week. And they ordered a few extras as well. So that's the kind of personal service that you get there.
Great stuff.
Yeah, thank you again. But then when you look back at the first half, Jay, like you said, Melzer touched the ball 16 times, 14 runs, he had 2 catches. He had dang near 200 yards, 4 touchdowns. And then the other thing that jumped out.
Say that again? He had touched the ball 16 times?
14 rushes, 2 catches.
So 25% of the time when he touches it, he ends up in the end zone.
You're better at math than I am, Jay, but, I mean, you're probably right. I'm not going to doubt you. I did that once, and it didn't work out. So, but the other thing that jumped out at me, I won't even go into the 13 penalties that were called in the first half, but I will say the Little Giants had all of their yards through the air, right? Carson went 6 of 11 for 94 yards. They had 101 total. They could not get anything going through on the ground. They had the 2 big losses for the 2 snaps. I think that was maybe 20, 22 yards of losses. But when you can't get anything going on the ground, it's tough sledding, right? They're losing the battle at the line of scrimmage, and it's not easy.
Well, it is, and 54 and 50 have been, a situation tonight in Noonan and Zywick. I mean, Carson Noonan is in the backfield on every play. So you're going to drop back and try and throw it, and I understand it, because that's the way they're gaining some yardage. But, I mean, he's got to get it in and out of his hands, and he's had pressure on him all night long. So,
and again, this offensive line is no joke of Fremont Ross. They average 290, right? There's a kid going to Kent State. So,
So Hornets won the toss and received the opening kickoff. So Fremont will take over after that touchback at the 20-yard line to start the second half.
So from a coach's standpoint, we always talk about what were they saying in the locker room, right? And I think what Coach Long was saying is, all right, boys, let's go get a first down. We get the ball. Let's see what happens. We go score a touchdown. I don't think they believe this game's over yet, and whether they actually believe they can win or not. But I know one thing: they're trying to score a touchdown right
100%.
here.
I mean, if you can swing some momentum somehow, find a way to get in the end zone, first possession.
Yep.
And then and then the defense takes the field, and you worry about that then. They need to put a drive together here to start the second half. So another mishandled snap. It's picked up and handed off.
Probably number 5's Zaylin Harris, but you set that play that's the third low snap that we've seen, and that's tough from a timing aspect.
Really messes with the timing, and anytime, and Noonan again, first man there.
Matt Dean was in there.
Yes. So, a tough way to start a drive in the second half. Was able to get it back to the line of scrimmage to bring up a 2nd and 10. So Caden is alone in the backfield again. Deep drop, pressured, throws off his back foot, just throws it away out of bounds as he looked like Zywick, and
he was able to elude Gordon.
Yeah, that was
Jamison
Gordon on a blitz, wasn't it?
It's not easy to elude Jamison Gordon, but he did, and he got that pass off, or else it would have been real bad. But now you got 3rd and 10. And that's not a good situation to be in.
It looks like Kyle Williams going to check into the game again.
Last time we said he checks into the game, he had a pick 6.
Yes.
Yeah, we're going with the 6 defensive backs again.
They
here.
got three essentially safeties lined up. So quick tunnel screen set up on the outside, but
good tackle.
Not going to be enough to get there, as that was
Whitling?
That was Whitling and Williams on the stop.
I don't mind the play call though. Get something off. See if you can't break a little screen pass there. But they're going to have to punt it, and Girding's back at the Hornet 40.
So Bryce Estep in punt formation, fields it. Gets it away, another low line drive. Fair caught by Girding at the 42-yard line where the Hornets will take over.
Well,
so real quick, we've got third quarter sponsor.
Oh, yeah, that's right. That's Grande Jewelers, longtime sponsor of Hornet Athletics, and the Grande's Jewelers. Christmas is 8 weeks away. They're reminding us jewelry's always the perfect gift. I know that Jay might be looking for something for Mrs. Grissom, so we'll keep an eye on that. Oh gosh!
And we've got,
and that's a touchdown.
Nick Dobkowski.
Now, what I'm wondering is, I don't know if we'll be able to see that again, Jay. Admittedly, I was reading the Grande Jewelers, and I apologize. We'll get back to that shortly. But how did he get that wide open? Nobody was within 15 yards of him.
No.
Somebody ran into each other or fell down, or there was a serious miscommunication there.
So Borla gets his third touchdown pass. That'll be a 58-yard touchdown pass, I believe.
Breaking news, Gibbons smiled.
And the kick is up and good. So that does a couple things.
Well, let's see. We're going to see a replay here because Dobkowski's just split out wide. They thought he was he acted as though he was going to block, and it was just going to be a run.
What a great play fake.
Yeah, play fake. Corner thought it was a run.
Yep.
And it wasn't.
Nope.
And now you always talk about the momentum coming out of a half, and man, that's what Highland was shooting for, right?
Yeah.
They get a 3 and out, and then they get the ball in good field position, and
first play. Put 6 on the board.
Hey, but Grande Jewelers is open in the Medina Bueller's Plaza or in Worcester on Route 83. Highland graduate Emily Grande manages the Medina location. She's responsible for growing the custom jewelry creations department for one-of-a-kind jewelry pieces. You can meet her any day, Tuesday through Saturday. The holidays coming up. So keep Grande Jewelers in mind like we all do, okay?
That ball is going to be fielded about the 3-yard line. Brought out by Jadrian Brown, but he is going to be stacked up inside of the 20-yard line. So the Hornet defense coming back out.
I'll tell you, this is fun for the boys, man. You know, to have a year like this, a 10-0, to get to play playoff games at your home field, and now you get 2 of them. Right? It never used to be like that.
Right.
I think back when we were playing, I don't think you got any home playoff
Correct.
games, and then you got one. But now the opportunity to play in front of your home fans twice. What a cool thing for these seniors.
That is a patient run there by number 4. That's Elijah Isagiri.
The flag came in late from they're going to get one of the receivers, I think, holding.
Well, that was a nice pickup.
That flag came in from deep in the defensive secondary.
And they are backing him up.
It's a shame because that's about the 3rd time they had a decent offensive play, and it was negated with a penalty, and then they get behind the sticks, and it's tough.
It was a nice patient run there. But that is going to be 10-yard penalty from the spot. I'm going to bring up a 1st and about 15. So Fremont, 3 receivers left.
And now we got the running clock, right?
That is correct.
Okay.
Now they go empty. Quick drop, tries to hit a slant, just throwing a little bit behind Bryce Sheets. That ball falls incomplete. He had a little opening there in between the zone, just a little behind him. Can bring up 2nd and 15.
Well, we got the 3 down linemen again with the six defensive backs.
It's a deep drop, steps up in the pocket. He's going to pull it down. He's going to pick up maybe 6, maybe 7. Chased down from behind by a couple Hornets.
You know, I thought
including Matt Dean.
Matt Dean was there. And then I don't know who else that was. You know, that was a good – I thought he was going to try to hit 19, Mason England. He had him on the stop route, and he was – I thought he was open. He decided to tuck it. There wasn't much room, though. I mean, he had a – Dean and one of the linebackers were right there.
Empty again. Steps up. That ball is bobbled but is caught. He's hit immediately by Josh Arvanites. Was caught by Elijah Isagiri. Going to be well short of the 1st down as that only went for – that might have gone for no gain at the end of the day.
Well, what happens is you get gun shy, right? You get hit so many times and you're under so much pressure. Well, that play, he actually had time, but he wanted to get rid of it quick, and he didn't let things develop. I'm not saying I blame him because it's a tough spot to be in, but that was well short of the 1st down, and now they're back in punt formation, and we've said this a whole bunch of times. Our girding is at midfield, and that's a short punt.
Yeah, you know, that snap was a little bit offline, and it is going to take a Fremont Ross bounce, but had a little bit of a tough snap there, but able to secure it and get it away.
I think the Hornets' average drive is probably, I would tell you, it's 45 yards, I would say, you know, and that's tough to try to defend these guys on a short field every single time.
Yes. Quick update from Avon Lake. Avon Lake picked up a field goal to make it 21-17. St. Francis de Sales still on top.
That's a ball game.
It is a ball game. So about 5.5 minutes left in the 3rd quarter. So Borla on a play fake, swings it out wide. That's caught by
Girding. What a good pass. That's a tough pass to throw, and it's a tough pass to catch on that little out pattern. It was right over his shoulder.
Yeah, one of those like almost arrow routes. He only ran it about 3 yards deep.
Yes.
And
he was running directly away from Borla, and those are tough.
Dylan did a nice job putting it right on his numbers, and he's able to get upfield, pick up about 12 and a first down. Given to Melzer on a stretch. He's got a seam, breaks a tackle, and there's number 5 on the night for number 25, Casey Melzer.
You know what's funny is number 7 and number 12 were right there in pretty good position, and they both sandwiched him, but neither got him on the ground.
You can't tackle his shoulder pads. I'll tell you that right now.
And 7 is Marquez Williams, and he's a good player, as is Jace Freimeyer. He's a tough guy to get on the ground, man.
So again, Josh Arvanites to snap it. Gibbs' hold is good, and Cow's kick is good. So 49-7 with a running clock, just 3 minutes left in the quarter.
Oh, we're going to see a replay on this.
But just look at this blocking at the point of attack. Oh, man. I'd love to see that one more time because there was 2 pancakes on that play. And that might have been Evan Faust. Blocked 2 men, 1 man into another.
Well, 2 thoughts. One, these guys didn't have as free of shots as I thought they did. And 2, man, how about these blocks by these receivers?
Yes.
You've been talking about it all year. The block with the offensive line gets a lot of the credit, as they should, but these receivers block the heck out of things, and that's what makes an 8 or 10 yard gain go to the house, right? Is that what the receivers do?
Yeah. So just take a look. I think it's going to be Evan Faust. He's in that wing formation. He's going to get wide. Now he's on this linebacker right here. He blocks, and he takes out 2 guys. I mean, it's just, I love that type of stuff right there. Unselfish football as this ball is kicked into the end zone. No, to your point about receivers, what Coach Gribble has done on this staff for a long time coaching these receivers, and it was fun this year for me to be a small part of it at the freshman level, but to get to see these guys work every day. And he's doing blocking drills where they got their hands behind their backs, forcing them to get shoulders in front, not getting outside on guys, keying in on their blocking as much or more as they do on their pass routes and receiving drills, because they know that big plays come from blocking on the edges. So that's a direct reflection of the coaching staff, and especially what Coach Gribble does with those guys. So there is a little delay draw situation, but nowhere to go as he's hit quickly by, that looked like Garrett Phillips flying up there, maybe the first man there. Cody Bendow in on that stop as well.
Well, I know
we haven't got to call Garrett's name very much tonight. That kid has had just such an outstanding season, and what he did last week in a biggest game of the year, a couple interceptions. He had a rushing touchdown in a situation where Melzer needed a blow, and they brought him in, and next thing you know, he's in the end zone. And
he's had a great year. And your safety's not going to get to make many tackles when they have 0 rushing yards, right?
Right. So he rolls out to his right. That pass falls incomplete, intended for number 19, Mason Englund. Going to bring up a 3rd and about 9.
Yeah, there's no play you could call right here. I think you just gotta try to maybe hit something deep, like they've had a couple ones that have worked.
Looks like Williams and Faust are the corners right now on the outside receivers. Snaps taken, steps up in the pocket, tries to rip one in on a slant route, and it's just not there. Again, intended.
Colton Faust was there. But I'll tell you, that's one of the few times that we've seen him actually try to throw a 10-yarder over the middle like that, right? I think they should do more of that. There's just not a lot open for this team.
He's got a nice arm. He can let the football go.
And we're already at the end of the third quarter. It moves quick with that running clock.
Sure does.
Well, it was a good quarter for the Hornets. You know, we've broken record, but it's a team effort. And when you look at Fremont Ross, you don't want to lose sight of the season they had, the second half of the season that they've had. The future is bright for these guys. You know, they have some playmakers, they have some hungry coaches, they have some kids going on to play at the next level. You know,
right?
And you always remember the last game of the year, but this is a tough one for them. But I think their future is pretty bright.
Well, and I think that it's important to keep in mind too what they did. I mean, they were 1-4.
That's right.
And then they went 4-1 the second half of the season to put them in position to get into the playoffs and have this opportunity at all. So, hey guys, there's the crew.
We'll have to get the crew on the camera again and the names up there, because what these guys do makes our job easy.
Yes, it does. No, I think it's, but I think it's a great story of not letting a season get away from you with a 1-4 start and going 4-1 the second half of the year, and get your 11th game. Tonight hasn't gone the way they wanted to, but it's a group of kids that got a lot to be proud of for sure.
That's right. That's right.
Line drive kick. Girding backing up. He's just going to stay away from this one as it rolls down to the 34-yard line where the Hornets will take over.
But I'll tell you what, when you're thinking about Grande jewelers, you know, heirloom jewelry, bent prongs, thin rings, shanks, ring sizing, stone replacements. They can restyle your jewelry to update the look using what you have. To bring it in, they'll evaluate it, price it, repair it. Swiss timepieces, Rolex, and Omegas. So we really appreciate Grande Jewelers and sponsoring us tonight. Thank you.
That looks like Grady Gibb.
Yeah.
Taking over, and why not pick up about 25 on your first carry of the night?
Yeah, this is when you get Gibb and Dylan Lazar probably in the game.
Yes, get to see these young fellas that work so hard all week long and give their varsity, give the older guys a good look on the scout team all week. And this is invaluable experience in a playoff game. Getting some reps against a playoff opponent. As that is that 34?
Yep.
I believe that is a Zielinski. Oh, I'm sorry. I always do that. It's Anthony DePompe. Anthony DePompe on the jet sweep. Nice job of pursuit there by that Fremont Ross defense. Bring him down for no gain. So Gibb, 3 receivers to his right. Lazar behind him in a pistol formation. There's a give to Lazar, little jump cut in the hole. Staying on his feet, fighting forward. Going to pick up about 5, maybe 4.
We've seen this before where these guys come in. Grady Gibb is a junior and Dylan Lazar is a junior, and these guys come in and you know they're hungry. They want to keep this momentum going, and they want to get in the end zone. I guarantee you that.
So 1 tight end, 3 receivers. Lazar in a pistol again. There's DePompe. Going to run that counter. Lazar's got a hole. And he is brought down
after a run of 35 yards.
Kevin Jones on the stop for Fremont Ross. Well, he runs angry. I just love. I know we talk about it every week.
Yeah,
I love
we
watching
do.
him run the football, though. He runs angry. Another give to Lazar.
He's not the biggest kid in the world, but I'll tell you what, he looks solid to me. Like
He
they
is.
say he's 5'7", 170, but I remember a couple games ago we saw him shake off some tacklers with that lower body strength. He's quick, he's shifty, he runs hard.
He brings it from his linebacker spot, too, on defense. I think he's going to be in the mix next year with, I mean, obviously Miser's a junior coming back, but, he's going to get more meaningful carries next year as well as being in the mix defensively especially. There's Gibb going to keep, fakes the jet sweep, stays on that midline working downfield. He's going to pick up maybe 6. Down to about the 7. Going to bring up a 3rd and about 3. Grady Gibb, another one. I'm excited to see him next year.
Yeah. Well, we saw him early on in the scrimmages,
Yes.
and I'll tell you, I told you,
He can throw it.
I was impressed. Yeah.
That's one thing we don't get to see out of him on these Friday nights.
Good
He
point.
doesn't get to throw it, but he can let it go too. There's a high snap. Just going to have to jump on that one. Back at the 22-yard line.
Recovered back at the 22-yard line. So it's Grady Gibb going to bring up a down.
So Hornets are going to line up for a 40-yard field goal here. I know we talked about this early in the season. They had one of these reps. This is an important rep for a kicker who hasn't had a lot of opportunities to kick actual field goals. And we know he's got plenty of leg for this.
We've seen that.
Let's see if they can execute it here.
See a good snap, good hold.
And it is
great kick.
What a great
boy.
kick.
Well done.
I mean, that would have been good by another 7-8 yards.
Well, the leg strength is not a question with Kauza.
That is not going to be the issue with him.
But what impressed me is the good snap, the good hold. The line did their thing and enabled Kauza to knock it through. And to your point, that could be a big deal come next round or following, whenever it is. Right? You need a field goal.
Right.
And they're going to remember that.
End of a half, and let's check out a replay. That makes him 3 for 3 on field goals. He had a long of 34 coming in. Now his long is 40. As that ball was spotted right on the 30-yard line. Again, good protection, good snap. Really nice hold there by Grady Gibb. And he did not miss that one. I mean, he hit that ball good.
Well, he stayed smooth, too. You know how sometimes when you're, like on a golf course, if you're trying to hit one far, it doesn't always work out. He wasn't trying to do too much. He just stayed with his rhythm. And I'm not a kicker, but, I mean, I noticed that he didn't.
You are a golfer, though.
I'm not even that, but that was impressive.
That was well executed by that entire
I love that
unit right there. So 52-7, 6 minutes on the running clock.
So
this ball is kicked.
Now that was Landon Kuzma kicked that one, huh?
And that ball, it checks up at the 10-yard line. It's going to be picked up by number 20. They had him stacked up, but he breaks a couple tackles, cutting back the other way. And Kuzma has to force him out of bounds.
Yeah.
Which got a reaction from his teammates. So that was Kevin Jones on the return, did a nice job cutting back.
He was wrapped up down there at about the 10-yard line, or so we thought.
Yes. He saw 45 coming and decided to step out of bounds.
Yeah.
Kuzma does a nice job forcing him out.
it's going to come back on a hold, but it doesn't negate the good effort by that young man, though.
Agreed.
Number 73 trots onto the field.
Yeah, I'll tell you, you get, some young guys, some opportunities here to play under the lights on a playoff game like this.
Throckmorton in there.
Yep.
Who we got Tommy Fern.
Abu Hamda's out there on the corner.
Ryan Haney playing outside linebacker.
There's Haney.
That ball's given off the right side. Nice hole there. That was number 24.
That's Noah.
Norris Brown on the carry. Who else we got in there? We got number 9. Oh, that's Abu Hamde. Who are our safeties right now?
28.
28.
Neil Flannery. 15 is in there. That's Cooper Zielinski.
Nice push by that offensive line.
Little Giants continue to play as they push their way out to the 28-yard
Lazar in there playing some linebacker. Number 85, Ryan Zahir in the ball game.
And Noah, number 60. A little playing time on defense.
Up the middle for a first down.
Nice pickup there.
And Fremont Ross has, I don't know if you already mentioned this, they got the quarterback is Cameron Henderson now.
I wish I could tell you who just carried that ball. I don't have a 43 on my roster.
No.
But that was a nice gain by him to pick up that first down. Straight drop. And that ball is going to be intercepted. Guess who it is?
Lazar.
Dylan Lazar.
Broke a couple tackles at the end for good measure. Attaboy. That's how to end strong.
I'm telling you, man, that kid's a good football player. He's a good football player.
So at the end of the day, this game's going to end here shortly, and then we're going to be back here next Friday night.
That's correct.
Against the winner of that DeSales Avon Lake game, which is probably not going to be decided.
Avon Lake has taken a 24-21 lead at the end of the third quarter.
Well, we won't know who we play here before we get off the air, but we'll have one of them coming to
the
Granger.
tire.
Coming to the tire.
That's Pruchet in the game at quarterback, and I believe that's Colton Winston on the carry there.
I do wish that we could get the production team here and the HLS media team here.
Yeah, who all we got? We got Andrew, and we've got Brian. Oh, we're going to just put him on camera here.
That's what we need
There's
to do.
Andrew sneaking in.
There he is. Oh, yes. There we go.
There they are.
Good job. It's fun to be a part of this crew this year. I've enjoyed it, and I'm appreciative of it. Just kneel down and maybe one more time, and that'll be it.
Police taking the knee there. No, but in all seriousness, big thanks, you guys. Awesome stuff. We get to do it one more time.
Oh, here we go.
There they are. We got Eric and Nate, and Brianna, Brian. Andrew didn't put his own name on there because he's the one that runs the graphics, so he would never do that.
He's a humble man.
So an outstanding showing tonight against a solid team that was hot at the end of the year. But it was nice to see Dylan get back to his efficient self in the second half, right? Couple touchdown passes. So he finished with 4, I believe, on the night, and had to be up over 200 passing yards by the time it was all said and done.
Yeah.
But, you know, and Melzer had a big game. Offensive, defensive line dominated again, though. At the end of the day, against a big physical offensive and defensive line, that group still dominated.
When you're looking at the film here, you're going to find ways that you could keep getting better, but you're going to be pleased with the effort, pleased with the outcome, all phases of the game.
That's right.
We're right on. The one time that they made a touchdown against us, we bounced right back. You love to see that as a coaching staff and as a team. The toughness that takes, and then you'd spend this week to get ready for whoever it is that's
Be a tough
coming
game
in.
next week. Tough game. Either one of those teams is going to be a tough game. And we are excited to bring it to you. So for Brandon Lipchek, I'm Jay Grissom. We look forward to seeing you right here, same time, same place, next Friday night. Have a good week.
Amen.